What we do here is we try to connect the online world to the physical world. So we work with a lot of different clients as well as build some of our own products, all of which are trying to, in a lot of ways, make things that seem like science fiction. And so it's a pretty unique gig, and it's kind of a fairly modern, exciting moment.
The Beeline is a project that we released after only being in business for, say, 4 months, 5 months. So at that point in our company's history, really no one had really heard of breakfast, let alone know what we do. So we're in a position now where we're going to go into prospective clients and explain to them that we're this new company that does new crazy stuff, and it's going to be great. Just trust us. We didn't exactly have people knocking down our door. No one had heard of us. So we have two problems. First of all, how do we show people what we are capable of and why we think we can really help them? But then also, how do we even get in touch with them? We created this thing called the Beeline, and it's a red phone that looks like the bat phone or the old Cold War phone that would sit on the president's desk. And we rigged it up so that if you plug it into the wall, there's no phone jack required, you just plug it into an AC outlet. It'll glow red just to let you know that it's on. You pick it up and it will ring all three partners' mobile phones. So what we would do is we would package it up nice and neat, and we'd identify a few clients that we were particularly interested in working with. We'd write them a short, sweet little letter, mail them this phone. They would get it, open it up, it would say, hey, plug it in, pick it up and see what happens. They would do that, and now we're on the phone with them. So it solves problem number one. I didn't need to cold call them. Now we're on the phone with them. But then also it showcases what we do. We had a problem, which was getting on the phone with you, and we solved it using technology in an interesting way, and hopefully we did it in a way that is aesthetically pleasing as well.
In the instance of our crazy screen that we developed for TNT, they came to us, they said, we have this storefront, we really are interested in doing some kind of screen-based thing.
We didn't opt for a regular screen or a projection, mostly because we usually try to do something a little bit more that's not done before. So we wanted to try to use a more kind of unique technology, and we thought for this project, a screen like this, it's a lot more, I don't know, it's more mesmerizing when you stand in front of it. It's more, it kind of draws you in, and you can really see the pixels moving. And it's just a different experience that we wanted to get out of it rather than a regular projection.
It was a matter of us, as a team, figuring out what kind of technology we could leverage and do something a bit different. But at the same time, obviously really wanting to make sure that it made sense with the show and all of that. So that's me trying to glue together, what's the right tech with a really great idea.
It starts with a camera that's just looking in front of the screen, and it uses similar to what Kinect is doing, Microsoft Kinect. It finds the silhouette of the person in front of it. We take that outline and we project you back onto the screen, sort of so you get a mirror reflection of yourself, and that reacts to the content on the screen as well. You can knock down the pixels and the graphics. Each dot is a little disc with a magnet in it, and there is another magnet that changes the polarity of this, which makes it flip front and back. And you string these together in arrays and use microcontrollers to control them. You can then pinpoint each dot individually and build a big screen out of it, controlled from a computer.
In the case of Instaprint, that really just kind of came out of thin air, and us just sort of shooting the shit, if I can say that. And my role at that point was really just crafting what is kind of the person's experience of this, what does it look like, and anything that anyone's gonna see or feel.
We set it up to listen for our hashtag, and we fetch all the images from Instagram that has that hashtag. We send them down to the location wherever this Insta print box is located, and we send it to the printer, and the image prints out. We also add on sort of likes and things like comments, so it actually comes out looking like what the Instagram app looks like on your phone. It's a zero ink printer, so which means that's why we can make it so small as well. The papers have all the color in them, and there's a heat printing head that extracts the color out of the paper when it comes out. So we get these nice and glossy pictures without having to stick new ink cartridges into the boxes. We don't make everything from scratch. taking the flip-top screen here, we didn't build all of that from scratch, but we had to re-engineer a lot of it to make it do what we wanted it to do. So we bought these panels, wrote some new software for it, sort of tried to push the limits for it, and we ended up with this big screen.
You know, we look at a lot of retro things, a lot of stuff that used to be tangible that people innately know how to react to, which touchscreens and things like that don't necessarily do. And so our art is in many ways inspired from the technology of the 50s and 60s.
You should never look at any of our things and walk away feeling that you just saw an advertisement. If you do, then I think that we've kind of failed in a way. So hopefully that isn't the case. What we want to do is create these interesting and fun experiences. And sometimes it's a grand thing that you're experiencing right in front of you, and sometimes it's a little photo that you're walking away with. But there should be some kind of nice kind of organic takeaway that just makes you hopefully smile. That's corny to say, but that's really what we're looking to do.
Breakfast is just about 2 years old, and we haven't grown much. We're still only around 4, going on maybe 6, 7 people over the next few months. It's allowed us to really only focus on the projects that we want to do, either with clients or internally. If we want to take a couple months and work on a product that will just be our own, then we are able to do that because we don't have to pay 20 people's salaries. And so we're trying to keep it tiny and hopefully stay like that for as long as we can.